gallon a week. Drink, you know, and make coffee and cook with.
Where'd your water come from before you you still have the well, I guess?
Oh yeah, the well's right there. I got a hand dug well.
Was it run iron or sulfur or silt or what happened to it?
Well, once they started blasting, and sometimes it'd be right black looking, and it's like pieces of coal comes through your pipes and stuff, and it red. It turns everything red, and you just can't hardly use it. You know, we wash clothes and stuff, but it turns your clothes yellow, your white clothes, and so I don't know nothing I can do to it, you know, because I can't afford a water filter.
And how long ago? How many years ago?
Back in about 93, I guess, somewhere along in there.
And it's still bad?
Yeah, it's still bad. Well, matter of fact, it gets worse, you know, now. So we can't drink it or nothing. We ain't drunk none since they done the blast and messed it up. Matter of fact, Marbone furnished the water for a long time, and they quit. Couldn't furnish it no more. I used to go up in the Laurel Branch where the mine office was up there, and they had the water stuff up there, and they give us water until they quit, and they wouldn't give us no more. So then I started hauling it from top of Mud Fork Mountain where my uncle lives. I go up there and get out his well. About once a week I go up there and get water.
And over here, that's still an active crack?
Yeah. I know the only way to fix it would be put a new foundation under it.
What would that cost you?
I don't have no idea. It costs more for the labor problem than it would the block and stuff, you know. So I can't afford to do it. And I didn't get enough money to fix it, you know, when they settled with me. But I had done the best I could with what I had. That's all I could do. And I had to put a new roof on the house and stuff. And I had nail them boards down on top of the house where it shook them loose. And my house leaked and everything before I got it fixed.
Did the crack show up all at once, or was it a slow process?
No, it showed up all at once when they cracked it. And it just kept cracking around different places. Just like you have an earthquake or something when it shake it. You can hear your house cracking and popping. I tell you, it's pretty bad.
This is Cyril Webb and Gladys Webb at Julian. And we were sitting on the porch here one day, and they were reclaiming the mine up here on the hill. And first thing I know, heard a big blast, and Mr. Breedlove up there came running down here, and the big rocks came down. Oh, they were enormous. One went through the side of the house into the inside porch on the floor, and another one came right there, almost hit him, and another one out here, about 4 or 5 out in there. They were that big.
How big? Yeah.
Breedlove will tell you, they were that big of rocks.
He said they were big.
And they took care of everything. They put new siding on the enclosed porch. Brought me a new chair. This is it. There was one like that, and they replaced it with this one. Of course, it's not as good as that one was, but still, we accepted it. They were real nice. They were real nice. They took care of everything. Very nice people. Now, they were the ones that were reclaiming the property. not the mining. Now who they were, I don't know. But they were from the company that had the mines. I can't think of the name.
Did they agree to change the way they blasted?
They didn't do any more blasting, that was all. It's just above one place right up above the house here, right up on the hill.
Sounds like you were lucky you all didn't get injured.
We were lucky that we didn't get hit with the rocks. We were lucky. We were sitting right here on the porch.
And that's what happens. You come in and your dream house to retire and just relax, and then you have to fight coal companies because they just don't want to. They don't want to take their time and do it. They want to get it right now and run. My name's Dickie Judy, and I live in Foster Holler, in Boone County, West Virginia, left-hand fork. Well, they've done a lot of damage on the inside, cracking the walls. They've done damage cracking ceramic tile, shaking stuff off of the walls and hitting in the floor and breaking. They've done damage on the outside here. They've cracked some walks. They're breaking the stucco on the side of the block on the outside. And they just keep harassing here about what they're doing with us, what little damage they're doing, and they do quite a bit. So Mike Superfesky for the federal said that this was caused by blasting all these places in my house. We moved in 1 month. They done a pre-blast survey and they started blasting, and they had a catalog on the pre-blast survey, and we still got beat in court. Well, here's a crack too. This here is that it's got the fiber in it, and your concrete's not supposed to crack. And this slab's 4.5 inches thick, and it's cracked all the way through. All this here stucco is being busted off the house. Now these here had small cracks in them here that you see, but they've opened up quite large since they started blasting. This crack here wasn't even in here. Well, you can see that corner there's broke, and it's busted up and down here, and it's separated all the way across this. We let our house sit here a year before we finished it up and moved in it. I'd let it sit here a year, went in, cut out any kind of crooked studs or anything that was crooked in it, put new ones back in, put our sheetrock in, and then we moved in. And then they said this was caused by settling after it sat here a year.
Do you do construction? Is that what you do?
I used to for 11 years. I built homes for quite a few years. But they put off shots here that, well, people call up here and ask if there's a plane wrecked or what blowed up in here. And that's true. I mean, we got people shuck up from over on Drawdy Mountain, which is the way the crow would fly if I'd be 6 miles from the strip here, and vibrates their houses and said their wells are going bad. Now, I don't know about their wells, but you know, they said the house will rattle and shake, carry on, and they'll call over and ask what happened. See? Okay, now upstairs, right about here, I'll show you the problem in the doorway up there, one of them. See, it's starting to crack here, bust all this open, see it? And then it comes up on the inside here. And these are solid headers. They're not just 2x4 standing up. These are big solid headers with 2x10s, half-inch piece of plywood in between them. So it's built right. My wife was working there in the kitchen, and the fan globe fell out and hit the ceramic tile and cut her leg. Pictures come off of the walls. Yesterday they put off a shot about 12:20. They knocked pictures off the wall, knocked some off of the stands that were sitting there. I couldn't tell you exactly what all. My wife was telling me she was upset when she called me, so I don't know what all happened to it, but she was really scared. So it was a good shot. We've had pictures on the TV there, believe it or not, has fell off, vibrated when they put the shots off. I've washed this down 3 or 4 times. I'd say at least 3 or 4 times a year I had to push this house down because of the dust coming from up at the strip. I mean, you can actually see it when they put off shots sometimes. You can sit out here and this will all get cloudy and smoky back through here and then drift this way. So they need some kind of laws to control it. You know, we're not environmentalists that want to fight out here on everything. All we're trying to do is say that we need help with the laws of blasting so the coal companies doesn't destroy people's property or any other blasting that's being done. If I would go up there and do the damage to that coal company that they've done to me, my butt would be in Crossbar Hotel right now. And the coal company would be laughing. And now they've done the damage to me and they're still laughing.
Well, this has got steel reinforcements in the concrete. Concrete footers are more than a foot thick. They're approximately 2 foot thick, wide. I around this building. I helped build this building. Back in 1979 and 80 is when we got it completed. And there was no damage done to this building until we started getting these blasters in this community. And it started about 5 years ago when it happened, when this blasting started happening. And when I started experiencing problems with the church, and then after I bought this new double wide, now I'm starting to experience problems with my double wide. But nobody wants to take responsibility for it. Nobody wants to take responsibility. They say they're not fault. What happened to the windows? They split. They split and busted. Some of them busted completely out. I had 4 on the lower side here, split. I've had 3 on this side completely split, and a couple of them's already done. I mean, it done fell out. You know, they done fell out. I had to redo some of the windows already in the church. I had to put new doors up where it buckled the doors. The foundation was cracked from one side, half middle of the church, to the other, almost to half middle of the other side of the church. And it was cracked to blocks. I got a block piling up the middle of the church. It was split. One straight shot completely through. It was all we busted. Here, you come and take a look at the inside.
Okay, let's take a look.
I had to put these new doors up here. They're not been in here again yet. You look down the wall right there, the whole wall, on the whole side of that wall, and get that camera down inside. It's plastic. There's no glass whatsoever behind it. It's completely gone. And everything. Redone the ceilings and all. This here, they're all broke loose. The inside glasses, there's a double glass. The inside glass is busted completely all the faces. I had to tear them out, which the title company put together, put on concrete foundations. These are cement poured foundations, piers that this double wide is sitting on. All right, and they're sitting on solid foundations. They're not giving whatsoever on the concrete. I've been under it. The concrete's not cracking where the piers are sitting on for the double wide. My door's in the bind, back door's in the bind. The front window on this side, it just exploded the other day. We've been experiencing some heavy blasting right here approximately, right here on this little node. You can't see too much for the trees. They're right there on that little node, and they're blasting right here. And right here, back this side of the hollow, they're blasting right there. This house right here next door, it's got the front picture window. Completely gone, completely blowed out. It busted it all to pieces when the blasting experienced. Well, the man that lives next door, which is Mr. Blankenship, his well went completely dry. He's experiencing problems with his well. And then we got Miss Johnson, that lives in the double wide trailer next to it. She experienced some foundation and stuff, and the well foundation stuff was cracking and stuff, and her well went dry. She had to have re-drilled. People all the way down through here, up and down this holler, the man that lives next door over here across the street, he experienced some problem with his well, experienced some problem with his concrete foundation and stuff cracking. I can name it, up and down this holler, there's numerous of people that you could go talk to in this community that's experiencing problems, and it has to do with the blasting. Yep, it's destroying the state. It's destroying property and the state. The beauty of our state has been cut out. It's been ripped away from us. It's been tore away from us. It absolutely has.
As you can see, this water's not even fit for an animal to drink, much less for human beings.
About 24, 25.
I'm Russell Wilkins, and I live at Raw, West Virginia, at Raw Holler. And like I say, this year window right here busted out one night right after a shot, and that corner of the house drooped down a little bit. And then my well has been messed up by all this year blasting. I used to not have red water, and now I do. Well, we was sitting there watching TV one evening, and right after a shot, the glass just fell out on the ground. It busted it off. And I had a big picture window in on the other side, so I changed them both out because I sure didn't want to sit in front of that picture window no more. So I had to change both windows out. And I called up Raw Sales and complained about it. And they just politely told me, well, I want to do something about it, get a lawyer. I ain't got that kind of money, and just can't afford to, you can't afford to fight people like that, and you ain't got the money. So that's what I was basically told, just get me a lawyer and fight them. So they ain't gonna do nothing about it. And I don't know what the state's gonna do about it. They won't do nothing about it either, so, we just end a squabble with them, and that's all we can get out of them. And there are a whole lot of people up and down this holler that's got damages. A lot of them ain't gonna say nothing about it because some of them works for Massey. The ones that works for Massey ain't gonna say nothing about it because they know they won't have a job to work no more if they do. So basically, Massey runs the place, and that's about all I got to say about it.
How many people do you think have? What percentage of homes up here do you think have had some kind of problem?
I'd say 9 out of 10 of them if they would just open up and tell about it. Especially water problems, especially on the water. I'd say everybody up and down through here got water problems since all this has been going on.
How many homes would that be then?
Oh gosh, I'd say there are 50, 60 homes up in here, and I'd say every one of them's got it. It's just one problem right after the other.
I keep 2 notebooks. These are just some of them. Dates, time of shot, how strong it was, what it shook in the house, and any information that you can put down. Everett Dickerson, East End of Man, 102 Crystal Street. They've done damage to my house. They wouldn't do a survey on my house until they busted one of my double pane windows. They're around $500 a window, and they broke a seal in one upstairs. They wouldn't do anything when they tore the computer up. They messed up my scanner part of my computer. I was on the computer that day, and they shook the picture off the screen. It shot so hard. I got so mad I called everybody from the federal down. So they came here the next day and wanted to know if they could come here and be here when they shot. And I said, more than welcome. So that's what brought them here that evening. And they was in communication with the Wade 3 back there, and was to shoot at 5 o'clock. Well, they shot. And I told Mr. Duffield I wanted a report of the shot, and I have it. The holes were half as deep as they normally shoot, and less than half as much powder as they normally use. And he wanted to know if that one was as hard as the one day before. And so that's the tricks they pull. And they think people's lying and telling them things on them, and they're back there, they're illegal as they can be. And if they can shoot and mine coal with a shot like that, they can do it every day. Somebody's got to do something to stop them. Or Buffalo Creek's going to be like Dehue. There'll be no more Buffalo Creek. At one time, Piston almost wiped it out with the flood, which they didn't build the dam, but they got responsible for it. But it almost cleaned out Buffalo Creek in. And if the stripping keeps on going, it'll be like Dehue. Everybody will have to move out. and we'll have nothing but flat top mountains around here. Good for nothing.
The first house here, there are two old ladies, and they said they've never felt nothing, but they're gone a lot. The second house here is Fred Osborne, and he's complained about it and called. He said it's even vibrated pictures on his wall. This lady just moved from Florida, and she's felt it. She's called.
My name's Ellen Ellis, and I have a home in Florida, and I just bought this home. We're in the process of moving up here. But after it shook the whole house, I didn't know. The first one I felt, I just bought my mom's home. And I was sitting in there, and the whole house shook. I didn't know what it was, and I come out here and asked him, and she told me it was blasting up there. And I thought it was an earthquake or something, I don't know. It was hard. It shook the whole house. 'Cause I'm from Florida originally, when I bought this house. I thought, oh no, we're having an earthquake. It was really scary.
The little lady over here, she's 82, and she feels it. She'll call. She's scared of thunder and stuff, and she actually thought, she called and said a truck had run into her house. And she's Miss Williams. Larry Kahn, the school teacher, lives a house above me. He's called a lot.
Well, over how long has it been? A couple of years or more? Yeah. Anyway, for a long time now, we have records and dates from when it started. They've been blasting and been shaking our home, and they actually have shaken pictures off the wall, whatnots, and so to speak, off the wall. I have had to replace my windows. I have put in new windows because they broke the seal. I think they broke the seal on the windows, and my wife does. We've had to replace our windows. Our foundation has some cracks in the blocks. They came and took pictures, but it was after the fact. They got around to us after they'd been blasting for a while, and there was some structural damage inside, which they, took pictures and said it already existed, but actually we believe that it was because of the shaking and rumbling of our house. And we called twice, and we felt it a lot more. And Junior Blankenship, who lives right here, he's felt it, and Miss Carol down here, she's felt it, all right in this area right here. My daughter lives up and on the hill over here, and they have felt it, and my son has too. He lives on the other hill on the other side here. It's about a quarter mile on that road here. But it does. It vibrates your house.
This is a well house that was put here in 1970. It's been over 20 years, and it supplied 3 families of homes here. And from 70 to 95? 96, whenever they sunk it. And it went dry in January. We had a heavy snow on. And they kept blasting, blasting, blasting. And this is the one that they sunk. It goes down 100 and some feet. They cracked the water base on it, and the water went down. The well run for 20 years at ground level. Water stayed in at almost ground level. So we called the EP. And they asked us if we had a pre-blast survey. We had all our ducks in the pond. We had all that stuff done before, prior to this sinking. So then we called the mine office, and this guy says McHale says he's not in business to do wells. He's in a stripping business. And then from that we went to the State Department, and they made them put us a well in. But they said they put it on good neighbor behavior. That was their policy. It wasn't that we forced them to fix it, but they good neighbor policy.
We hauled it for 4 months here till they got a well dug. So we went through with DEP, and we had to prove to them what happened to our well. And if we had not had our pre-blast survey, if we had not had a well company and a water softener company that knew this well, I don't know, we'd probably still be without a well unless we dug it. And really all they done was dig the hole, and we had to replace a water softener system and a pump. So we were still out a lot of money that nobody covered. But they did replace the well. They give us a hole with water in it.
How much water you haul?
I don't know, gallons and gallons. I bought water and I hauled water and I went every other day to the laundromat because I'm a registered nurse and I had to have clean uniforms. Plus my sister-in-law next door had 3 little kids and she used out the same well. And that well supplied 3 families at one time. And all of us run automatic washers. This well did before it went dry.
The future in this hollow down here is be useless. They'll strip it and tear it up and take everything, and it won't even be fit for a home down in this valley. By the time these companies get through with it.
Name where you live?
Chloe Ford, Clear Creek.
And so, tell us what's all happening to you.
Well, the water, whenever you go to, you can run it for a little bit, and then within 10, 15 minutes, it goes completely dry. You gotta wait 45 minutes for even a washer to fill up. So, you know, it's getting bad. Oh, yeah, you could feel the house rumbling before you ever heard the boom. I mean, one of my pictures, matter of fact, got knocked off the wall, so definitely.
It sounds like they're going to come right off there. Yesterday evening, it was terrible how close that is up there to us. I've been told that there's ponds back in there, and some people are afraid of them, that if they break, they'll wash this hollow out. I don't know, you know, just how bad it is. I've not been back in there myself. So, there's not much you can say except it's been bad now for 2 years, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Every bit of 2 years, it's been real bad.
Back out on the walls, I've seen it myself before the house burned. Cracks that wide, inch and a half, I'll say, instead of measuring with my fingers, inch and a half wide cracks in the walls where it busted the basement up, pulled the ceiling down, or the wall loose from the ceiling inside, tore the shingles up. I was here when they had to get new shingles put on the house on account of it. And the water, we cleaned the water filter out for her. I'm talking about for her now. And it was like it had oil in it. Like it had oil in the water when we cleaned the salt filter out. And it was worst I've saw. Mine don't get quite that bad. Of course, mine's bad. But they mined behind my house earlier, and I can't say whether it was them or these, but this mine sure actually at Penn Cove shot so much harder than everything else. They shot to where they just absolutely hit it just like it's shaking the whole earth all around you when they shoot.
So what all's happened around here?
Well, my cinder blocks are all busting and coming out, and the houses are pitching towards the creek now. It's sinking. And my wall in there, my plaster has all busted. And I had to fix once, and now it's all busted again. It's a coming back down. My well water, you don't drink it no more because it's done had the lick, honey. I've got a $5,000 unit down there, but it don't even take care of it now. It did before there's all back in here and blasting, but it's not doing no good now.
How long between when they first started operating and you started to see damages?
Well, I'd say it was about 6 or 7 months. Everything started falling apart, and it just keeps falling. It just keeps falling apart now. Now, my daughter right up there lives above me. Its well is completely gone. It's 200 and some foot deep, but its water is gone. And she had real water, but now it's all yaller. It's all black, like coal dust is all coming through it. It'll turn just as black as it can at times. I don't know. It's getting pretty bad. And I hope we do get something done, Bob. I sure do.
Come down in the yard last year.
Pretty good sized rock, isn't it?
Yeah, it weighs at least 25, 30 pounds, that stuff. And that was flown from a distance over 2,000 foot, straight over the trees into my yard.
The strip mine up here is Princess Beverly Strip. Okay.
I worked at one time up at Marfork Strip up here as a night watchman. I'd come in at like 5 in the evening, and that's usually after 4 o'clock when they put their shots off, anywhere from 4 till dark. About 400 yards away, I'm standing across the valley over on the Marfork Strip. When they put off a shot, I can feel the concussion in my chest, the visceral concussion. You know, they got guys that they literally think you have to set off an H-bomb or something up there to bust that rock up. You know, they want to shoot it up in the bug dust, and you just can't do it. You know, not without some sort of ramifications, and the damn community is what's suffering.